Hey, what's going on, my friend? And welcome back to the School of Impact podcast. Today, we're going to dive into a 21-day marketing plan to help you get paying clients immediately, at least over the next 21 days. And so this is the fastest path that we have experienced to getting clients coming into the door into an online fitness or health coaching business. Now, not only has this obviously, well, probably not obviously, but it has been tested in my own online fitness business, and we've adapted some of these strategies to meet the lack of attention, like I would say the social media landscape, let's just call it like that, which is, it's so busy. We've adapted some of these strategies to work in 2023, and we've tested this now in over 50 different niches within like the health and fitness and mindset space. And it's worked extremely well. People that with relatively small audiences have used this plan that we're about to give to you today to get 3 to 5 to some of them 8 clients within the 21 days. People that have larger audiences can definitely get, 8, 10, 12, maybe 15 clients in the 21 days. It all depends on the size of your audience and some of the things like the know, like, and trust that you already have. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. And I'm going to share my screen for this one. So if you're listening on the podcast and you want to see the video version, I'm going to do my best to literally talk through this. So if you're just listening, hopefully you'll still get a lot of what I'm saying. But if you do want to see the video version of this, what I want you to do is just shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram and just say, hey, can I get the 21-day marketing plan, and I'll make sure I send it over your way. We will have this uploaded on YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, what's up, YouTube? What's up, my friend? But it'll be released on the podcast first, so if you want to get access to this before it's on YouTube, just make sure to send me a message and I'll give it to you. All right, so let's go ahead and dive on in. Now, what I'm going to give to you today is the literal plan. I'm going to hold nothing back here. I'm going to show you exactly what you should be doing, or at least what we've done and what we've shared with a lot of our in-demand coach students to do. And again, this is the fastest path we know to get paying clients. And so let's go ahead and jump into and call it the elephant in the room. Times have changed on social media, right? We're in the era of what's called commodity content. And so real talk here is that the reason, and this is it for you, if you're not getting any paying clients consistently, if you're not getting leads coming in, if you're not booking calls on a regular basis, if you're not consistently and predictably getting new clients coming into your door, it's because you don't have a formula that works. Perhaps you're following an outdated strategy like post and pray, like hopefully that your information is good enough to get clients. Maybe you're following strategies that are relatively outdated, that are like, hey, just DM everybody that engages with your stuff. Maybe you're cold DMing. Maybe you've tried running some ads, and it's just, it's so competitive. There's so much noise on social media that if you don't have a formula that works today in our busy lack of attention, most people don't have attention spans anymore, like under 3 seconds. You don't have a formula that works in today's society. It's going to be hard to create predictability and consistency, right? It's like somebody that's trying to lose weight. They might be doing things, right? They might be, running on the treadmill every day. They might be, counting points on Weight Watchers or whatever, right? But they don't really have a good sustainable strategy to keep consistent results coming in their life, right? And it's the same thing here. And so many coaches think that it's just more activity on social media is the answer, right? This is what we commonly see, and I'm calling this out because I want to make sure that you're very aware of what I would suggest not to do. Do what you want. This is your life, your business. But what I would suggest not to do, it's posting content every single day and just giving out information and teaching as a way to give value to your audience. Like, teaching and giving value is one way to give value. Or I should say teaching is one way to give value to your audience. There's so many other more effective ways to teach and to give value more or less to your audience. especially it's not necessary for most coaches, especially if you're under like $15,000 per month in sales, cash collected sales. There's much more effective ways than having to post content every single day. That's a lot of content, which we'll go into in just a second. If you're DMing, 50 to 100 people a day and feel like you're chasing every person who engages with your content, as I alluded to, this is just going to burn you out. It's going to burn your audience out. They're going to want to stop engaging with you because they feel like they're getting DM'd every time that, you do it. They like your stuff, But the question here is like, if you're already doing things, so if you're not posting content at all, if you're not actually actively trying to DM or connect with humans and have conversations, then this is probably not for you. But if you're already doing the work, like you're out there like doing stuff, like you're posting, you're DMing, but it isn't leading to much sales, what is posting more going to accomplish? The answer is not much, right? And so the big insight that we found over this last year or so is that content has become such a commodity, so your audience doesn't value it the same as they did a few years ago, right? Content is, I like to think about this in terms of, and what I want you to pay attention to is how I'm teaching to you right now. And if you see how I'm using analogies and metaphors, and you'll see a story in just a moment, this is, little spoiler, this is one of the ways that you can make your content more effective is by teaching and by using metaphors and analogies with it, right? And so I like to think about content like working out, right? Just doing more doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean poop. Kind of like a weight loss client that's trying to diet, like straight up. Let's think about this in terms of dieting, right? And doing more cardio because they want to lose weight. Sometimes it's more about the strategy, not just the activity of, working out more or eating less. Sometimes it's dialing in the calories, right? It's making sure they have a proper progressive strength training routine. You see what I'm saying? Very similar with content. It's just doing more isn't always the answer. It's like being more strategic, making sure your messaging is dialed in that the hooks, your call to actions, the angles that you position your content. That matters more in terms of generating leads and sales than it does just doing the activity, okay? And so we're going to go into this 21-day plan right now, but I want to show you like other people that are actually doing this. So in case you're new to my world and you haven't really seen the results that our company has produced, this is literally this month at the time of me recording this video. This is this month in May that our clients have, this is March, April, and May. So the last quarter. And so this is a client who's relatively new, collecting. So this is, Todd, who in April of this year, you can see barely posting, doing the daily work, and he's generated $9,500 in sales in April alone, which is a record for him. Another new client, $5,000 total cash collected. That came from one of his content sequences that we're going to show you here in just a second. Anyways, you could see the point. 11 new clients when she just launched, $7,200 in sales while working with her 3-year-old son. This James got $1,000 collected in his first week, and it's not like magic. It's just simply through this formula that I'm about to show you. All right. And quite frankly, the reason why so many coaches in our program are able to get clients quickly is because they're following this formula. And I'm going to show it to you right now. So number one, let's go ahead and go into the online client formula. The first thing that you got to do is you got to create demand. You've got to create demand. Okay. You can't post the same stuff as everybody else is posting. Like if you're in the health and fitness space, like home workouts or recipes or motivational quotes or mindset tips or just reels, right? It's all just noise. It's literally just adding to the noise. So many people are trying to be loud and clear. What we do is we're trying to get clear and then we get loud, right? So the key here is to have a sharp message. Think about a knife. Think about sharpening up a knife. Have you ever had like a dull knife? And it's like it barely cuts through a strawberry, right? And then when you have a really sharp knife, you can cut through like a freaking brick, right? So the key is to have a sharp message that cuts through the noise on social media, that gets your ideal clients, the people that you're trying to attract, to notice your stuff, to pay attention to your stuff, right? And then have a conversion-focused content sequence, which we're going to go into in just a second, that builds demand. I'm literally going to give you a whole 21-day plan right now. All right, so just hang tight. But you got to understand this, otherwise the plan's not going to work. You understand? And so sharp message, you can cut through the noise, and you want to get your ideal client, the person that you want to serve, to be like, and that's for me, and they want to pay attention to it. And then you have a conversion focused content system in place that starts to build demand and generate the leads. I'm going to show you how to do this in just a second. I'm going to show you what we call a raise hands post. This is what you're going to use to generate interest and instantly excite your audience, so you get them to start paying attention. Okay. Number 2, you're going to build hype. All right. So number 2 here is we're going to want to build hype. And I'm going to show you what to do to be able to build this hype. But just understand that likes and comments this day, they don't turn into sales like they used to. People used to be able to like just engage with anybody that likes their content and, I don't know, turn to sales, but not this. That we've tested this every which way, and we find that like people, they just don't value the content like they used to. So back in the day, like if a blogger or a YouTuber, or even if you were like myself in the early days of Facebook, and you were able to put out some good content, you know, there wasn't many people doing it. But now, like everybody, there's like so many people in different niches and different industries following the same strategies that like the market's kind of become sophisticated. They know as soon as you reach out to them, not everybody, but for the most part, I'd say there's probably a strong suspicion that you're trying to sell them some stuff, you know? And so people kind of get it's like the car salesman, you know, when you go to a car dealership and the car salesman walks out and you're just like, shit, you know, like I'm just here to look, right? And they're like instantly trying to sell you some stuff, right? And they're pretending to like be interested. It's a bunch of BS, right? And I think people feel that now too online. And so lasting engagement does, and breaking beliefs do, right? You have to have lasting engagement, meaning people coming back, and you have to break people's beliefs. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Right? Your content needs to speak to your audience and get them on the edge of their seat so they're freaking excited, right? You want to break limiting beliefs, aka what people call objections, and priming them so they want to work with you. All right, and then number 3 here, and then we're going to dive into this 21-day plan. The third step in this, though, is we want to collect leads. When you do steps 1 and 2 correctly, what you'll have leads if you're doing it correctly, no question about it. But how do you know who's a lead and who's not? And what do you do with true leads? This is where you need a lead collection system. You need something to know who's ready to buy and who's not, and then you need to know how to nurture them. And I'll show you a nurture sequence that for us and our clients has, what we've tested from a data standpoint, has 3 to 4x the time somebody becomes a lead to the time they become a paying client, which is pretty cool. Number 4 is you need to enroll the clients, right? This is the 4th step of the formula. You got to enroll the clients. Once you know who the qualified leads are, the question is like, how do you actually close the deal? Do you need a landing page, a funnel, a sales call? Are you selling through chat? Right? We discovered the fastest way to sign up hot leads into your coaching services to have an effective conversion content system, which is part of it is the sales process. You got to install into your business. So what we've been able to show people, and I'm going to show you this in just a second, is so the old way of doing things was to get somebody onto a consultation call. You spend 30, 40, 50, 60, sometimes 90 minutes to 2 hours on a call with somebody. You're giving them a bunch of value, and then they come up with all these objections and they don't buy, right? And it sucks. So we've discovered is a faster way to pre-qualify, if you will, or to qualify rather, and to get somebody, you're spending a fraction of the time. In fact, you can do sales calls in like 15 minutes, dude. Like you can be on a call in like, you know, maybe 15, 20 minutes and close the deal if you are doing everything correctly up until this point. Okay. By the way, if you're listening to this or you're watching this and you do want access to this document, to the video, just make sure to send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can just put it right in the chat below and just say the word 21-day document, 21-day document, and I'll make sure I send it over your way. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this 21-day plan, shall we? So now that you understand the kind of 4-step formula of like how we built this plan, and just as a reminder, step number 1 is we've got to create demand, and you're going to see how we do this in just a moment. Step number 2 is you got to build hype. You got to get people excited, right? Step number 3 is we want to collect leads. Okay, you got to be able to collect the leads. Some people drop the ball here. And then step number 4 is you enroll the clients, right? That's the fun part. That's what everybody's kind of like going for, All right. And this is how those 4 steps are how we built this plan. And so the 21-day client, we call it, the client getting plan, because that's literally what it's designed to do. Step number 1 is you want to have your mindset foundations in place. And so when I'm working with an in-demand coach student, we legitimately do some kind of mindset work, and we show them how to show up as an in-demand coach, because it's be, do, have, right? It's not do, have, be, or whatever. It's be, do, have. And so for the sake of this video, though, like from a business perspective outside of mindset, you're going to have to choose a profitable niche. And again, I'm happy to give you this niche guide that we have to choose a profitable niche if you don't already have one. But just understand this. From my experience in all of my businesses, what's been the most profitable niches for me are either things from my own experience, right? So for example, when I was teaching fat loss or weight loss, I struggled for a long time with belly fat. Like I had just like, even when I was kind of skinny, I was skinny fat, and I had just like little belly fat bulging over me. And I was always self-conscious about it. And I literally tried everything, like literally everything under the sun. So I was my avatar. And so I helped the men and women be able to lose belly fat. That was like my thing, right? And the only reason it was so profitable because I had solved my own problem, and I had all the experiences of trying to solve it. So I was able to talk directly to my avatar. They trusted me because they knew. The same thing now, right? Like I grew my own fitness businesses very successfully. I built a name for myself in the industry. I know how to market fitness and health and mindset, life coaching businesses because I've done it, right? And now I have a track record of doing it with over 150 people. I am at my niche. You see what I'm saying? So that's, for me, has always been the most profitable niche. Now, I haven't done the second one ever, but I know a lot of people that have, and it is something that's closely related to your personal life. So for example, maybe your mom has diabetes or something like that, and you want to be able to help other moms that have diabetes take care of better health of their body and their weight, right? Or maybe that you used to be a firefighter like me, or a police officer, or military, and now you want to help first responders be able to stay in shape and get fit and ready for the job and for anything, right? So there could be like something that's closely related to you, like a parent, a past career, or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Those are 2 ways to get really profitable niches. Here in if you're going outside of that, if it's something you don't like, I've had clients that like are trying to promote belly fat, but they have belly fat, right? They actually haven't solved their problem. And so people don't trust them. You know what I'm saying? It's like the dentist that always has cavities. You're not going to probably trust that person, unfortunately. That's just how people think. And so it's like, rather you want to choose a niche that you have the experience in, and that you've actually solved the problem yourself, or it's closely related and you have that passion and that drive to serve that niche. Now, with that said, the next one here is you want to time block for your money-making moves. And so I encourage you, write this down. The money-making moves, we've discovered these before. These are actions you'll take. You got to spend time building your network. If you're on Facebook and you don't have money for like ads or anything, what you could do is just literally friend request people, find groups, pages, influencers that have your audience, even local groups. I've used to find a lot of people in local like Orange Theory groups or Peloton groups or F45 groups, local things to do groups, just to name a few in the fitness space. I found people in dad groups, mom groups, parent groups. You just want to connect with people and you want to make sure you're friend requesting people, right? If you're on Instagram, there's different strategies you could do. If you have money, you can literally put money in the paid ads. You can connect and collab with people, but you got to be building your network. You see what I'm saying? You got to be posting conversion content. Now, again, you don't have to do it daily, but it is a money-making move that you got a time block for creating your content, for posting your content, especially I'm about to give you a content strategy to do. So pay close attention. And hopefully you're finding value in this so far. And number 3 is you got money-making move-wise is you've got to time block for conversations. If you're in the coaching space, like you've got to talk to humans, like you got to talk to people, right? So conversations, and then of course time block for your sales calls. Right? If you're not time blocking for those things, it's going to be hard to get clients. And of course, you got a time block for delivery. Otherwise, you're just not going to succeed. And then set up a simple KPI tracker. You just want to be tracking like meaningful conversations, calls offered, calls booked, sales made, client signed. You know what I'm saying? Like, just something really simple right now. Step 2 is you got to sharpen your message. So I like to interview my avatar when I'm doing this. So I would recommend interviewing your avatar 2 times. If you're in the in-demand coach program and you're watching this, we literally have the exact questions and process to do this. But nonetheless, just don't overthink this. Just go out there and like speak to your avatar and try to figure out like exactly their problems, the pain they're in, the symptoms they're having, what their desires, what's keeping them awake at night, that kind of stuff, you know? Then you're going to want to craft your signature offer. Again, in this video, we're not going to have time to go into depth on all of this. However, I will be doing a full masterclass on this exact training. So if you do want to see the full masterclass where I will unpack all of this stuff in depth, then again, if you're on the YouTube video, just say the word 21 day masterclass. If you're listening to this on the podcast or wherever, just shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram and just say the word 21 day masterclass, and I'll make sure I link you up. But with that being said, you want to have a signature offer, and for the sake of time here, just make sure that your offer has a really solid promise, right? Like, so in my fitness business, it was to I would help people lose up to 30 pounds of belly fat in 90 days or less, right? And we were really good at delivering that and fulfilling on that promise. It doesn't have to be necessarily a weight number. You just want to have a very specific promise that if somebody says, I'm going to exchange money in exchange for your services, what's going to make them do that? If you have a general or like a really specific promise, people probably aren't going to pay you for it. But if somebody knows if they hand you over their credit card and if they show up and do the work, that they will get a very specific result. You got to have that dialed in, okay? And after that, you want to have a unique brand message. This is something that we teach to our students in the In-Demand Coach program. Ideally, you just want to get as specific as possible with like the pains, the desires. You want to have a unique solution. You want to be able to come up with a new belief. Again, I'll go in depth in this in the masterclass, so just be sure to reach out if you want to see the full masterclass where we unpack this. And then you want to come up with a hero offer. I did give an example of this here inside of this document, so again, feel free to ask for the doc and I'll send it over to you. But you want to post a hero offer that's using the promise of your program. This is one a client of ours did, right? Where it's pretty much saying, ladies who are looking to lose up to 20 pounds of body fat and tone up, if I offer to help you create a simple and effective fitness plan that would help you lose 20 pounds and tone up without needing to cut carbs and miss out on social events so you can lose weight and sustain them permanently, would you take me up on that offer? Right? It's a simple post that's tried and tested in the industry. And then she has some other stuff down here as well, but it's more or less it, right? So you just want to see if people are interested in it, because if nobody's interested in your offer, then you probably need to do some work on fixing your offer before you spend, months of your time marketing an offer that nobody wants. So that's step 2. You should be able to do all of this in week 1. And if you do this effectively, at least our students, they're able to generate, usually like 5 calls. They usually can get somebody with, and I'm speaking to somebody with a small audience, can typically get like 5 calls, and usually 2 to 3 clients out of this. At the bare minimum, right? So that's just in week 1. So in week 1, you can have like a few clients and some calls set up. Then step number 3 is to monetize your content. So now we want to start running what we call a conversion content formula. All right. This is just a sequence of content that I'm going to give you right here. This will happen in week 2. So first you want to optimize your Facebook or Instagram profile. On Facebook, it's going to be your bio, your profile image, your banner image, a pinned post, and a featured image. Again, in the masterclass, I'll teach this in depth. I just want to kind of give you some context. So you just want to have an optimized profile. Essentially, if somebody lands on your profile page, are they gonna understand what you do? Does it feel inviting? Do you have like a solid post that gets them to comment right away? That's your pinned post. If you go to my Facebook profile, you'll see what we do. Again, I'll teach you how to do this effectively if you want to attend the masterclass. But I'll show you this for now. So this is our pin post. You can see it's a little colored background post on Facebook. And we get people that regularly comment. You can see this was just 3 days ago. We posted this back in November of 2022, right? So it works to get new people onto your page. But anyways, once you've optimized your profile on Facebook or Instagram, you then want to run the CCF play. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose the theme, and the theme is just going to come off of your messaging. This is why you want to do this in week 1. And so the theme could be like fat loss for summer, right? And so as an example, and then you're going to create a raise hands post. A raise hands post is going to look a lot like this. There's a very specific template though that we have for this. And again, I'll show you in the masterclass, but just understand that you got to create a simple post just to get people to raise their hands, right? Post number 2 is you want to build hype, right? So you got to build hype. Again, I'll show this to you in the masterclass if you want to attend it. But the build hype post, real simple, is you just want to have a post that gets people like excited about it, right? Post number 3 is you want to do a show proof post, right? So you just basically, let me see if I could find one on my profile. I like to make this longer form copy. This is a short form copy. You can see it gets tons of engagement and leads. A long form copy right here. So like one post wonder, so you can see, and then at the bottom, I'm inviting people to watch live training, which is kind of the next. Now in this particular sequence, we found this works better for getting clients fast, is doing 2 strategic lives back to back. Again, we have an entire formula, and if you want to see this actual, like if you want to see examples of the done for you copy and things like that, you're more than welcome to reach out, and I'll send you over the link to the masterclass where we actually teach you how to do this. But you'll do these 2 lives back to back. And so when these are all done in sequential order, you'll do this post on like a Wednesday. Then you'll do this post on a Monday, this post on a Tuesday, and then you'll do this Wednesday and Thursday, right? That's all the content you need to do. And then there's a debrief process that we teach where you're just looking at the KPIs, like how many viewers came in, how many comments came in. This is just for our students. We have them submit. And then as soon as you're done with the sequence, you want to start offering calls. And so step number 4 is book calls and make sales. And so you want to put leads in a simple nurture list, straight up, just write them on a whiteboard or put them in a Google Sheet. We give our students like a full lead collection system. But if you're not one of our students, maybe you ought to be. But if you're not right now, just literally just don't overthink this. You just want to know who's a lead. And so anybody that's watching, engaging on your lead generation content, you want to make sure that you are collecting them, right? So if they're raising their hands, like they're interested in your stuff, they're watching your videos, they're technically hot leads. And then again, in the masterclass, we give out a DM script, but you just want to start to DM those people and offer them calls. And you should find that, like, at least our students do, that there's like about half of the people that are engaging with, that are watching their strategic lives, that are raising their hands on their CTA posts, are wanting to book calls with them. Sometimes it's even higher. And then you want to get them on a call and make the sale. If you do this, you will have, like, I'm trying to think statistically. I don't have an exact statistic, but I would say that like 99% of our in-demand coach students, when we give them this plan, are able to get at minimum, I think the very minimum is 3 online paying clients, right? Usually for like $997, $1,000, very minimum is what they're charging. I would say like the average student can get about 5 to 10 clients from just the sequence alone. We've had some do 11, 20, but say the average is 5 to 10. And so that's the 21-day plan. Again, remember the formula here is you got to create demand, which is what we do with the raise hands post. You got to build hype. This is the post that gets them excited. And then you've got to collect leads, everybody that's engaging, right? We like to add in the show proof post, and then you do the 2 strategic lives. And then you just make sure everybody that's raised their hand on the post prior on your call to actions, you make sure you tag them in those live trainings so they see it. And then you start to DM, book calls, and sign up clients. Guys, it is as simple as that. The 5% that will produce 95% of your results here are going to be your offer and your messaging, which is why we recommend doing a hero offer post so you can see if people are engaged in the first week. Probably sign up some clients just like some of our students do when they put out that initial post. And then you run that content formula, and it works. Again, it's been tested and proven in over 50 niches. So if you want to see the full masterclass I did on this training, where we go in depth, it is it's about 60 minutes. take a little bit longer than 60 minutes, but we go in depth. We give you exactly what to do. We give you example scripts and example copy, content templates that you can follow. Just shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, or drop in the comments below this video. Just say the word 21 Day Masterclass, and I'll make sure I link you up. All right, my friend, that's all I got for you today. Hope this is super valuable. Hope this was helpful for you. As always, remember, your message matters now more than it ever has before. Don't be afraid to speak it. Be seen, be heard, and be impactful.